Texas is one of the nation's leaders when it comes to green energy. We're #1 in wind-powered energy, according to the United States Department of Energy. The Solar Energy Association has Texas ranked #9 in solar power. But now that President Trump has pulled the United States out of the Paris Climate Control Agreement, many are wondering how it's going to affect Houston's efforts to go green. Hours after the president's announcement, Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner announced his commitment to honor the long-standing Paris Agreement. So that's our topic this half hour. We want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page. You can also send a tweet at Sally Mack, Fox 26. Joining us now is our panel led by our senior legal analyst Chris Tritico, Democratic media consultant Mustafa Tamiz, and Republican strategist and public policy analyst Jackie Bally. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so what do you think about him pulling out and what it's going to mean for Houston and Texas?
Well, I think at the end of the day, with the oil companies that are here in the oil industry here in Houston, that him pulling out is probably going to end up being a benefit for the city of Houston at the end of the day. That doesn't make the policy right for the country, and that's really the issue that people are discussing, Mustafa Tamiz. The Paris Climate Accords are not law. Every country set their own limits. Yeah. President Trump could have just reduced the United States limits, kept us in there, and still led.
Well, I was at the State of the Energy where the head of British Petroleum, BP, spoke, and he said that what the president was doing was wrong. So the energy industry from ExxonMobil onward are on board with the climate change because they believe they need certain certainty when they're making decisions about this. They don't need each president to come in and change what the prior president did. So no matter who you talk to, major corporations across the United States took out a full-page ad asking the president not to do this. Mayors across the country are coming out saying, don't do this. But the president is doing this, and what he said, to deliver on his promise that he made during the campaign.
Why not just leave us in, reduce the limits that the United States is going to do, leave us in the Paris Accords, and let the United States still be the leader in setting goals and technology for the future? This lets China, Paris, and Germany take over the message.
Actually, this particular treaty was not, like you said, was never ratified.
Well, it's not a treaty, it's an accord.
It was never ratified, so it was never really law. It was never anything that was set or approved by our Senate. The president, when he campaigned, said that he would make changes to it and he would get rid of it, and he's doing exactly what we elected him to do. The fact that there were no ramifications if you did not meet any of the provisions. The earliest that China had to do anything was 2035. The earliest that we had to do anything was, I believe, 2026. And of course, people are saying, well, we should have stayed in it. But the fact that it was never ratified, it didn't have any ramifications, and really it was just an act that the president, our previous president made. I don't see anything wrong with what our current president did.
Just so it's clear, this was never intended to be ratified. This was just an agreement, not a treaty.
Well, at one point, the president, Barack Obama, did want to take it to the Senate.
Look, but it wasn't
going to get approved.
Only 2 countries in the world, Syria
3.
and Nicaragua, are the only ones that are not part of this accord.
Let me go to Sally. She's monitoring our social media.
The Twitter account @StandForHonesty just sent me this tweet. U.S. renewable energy jobs employ 800,000 plus people and rising, outpacing coal jobs. And link to an article there on that. Mayor Sylvester Turner, mayor of Houston, sent out this statement saying that they are not going to let the president's decision slow efforts here in Houston, and that Houston will continue to lead by example. Hania says proud of being a Houstonian, and she's thanking Mayor Turner there for that. Jake says that the Paris Agreement was bad for Americans. It killed jobs, it increased debt, stole middle-class wealth, and did nothing for the environment. And one of our lawmakers, Senator Bob Casey, says if the president really wanted to help the people of Pittsburgh, he would protect their clean air and opportunity for jobs.
Well, that certainly shows the wide range of opinions on this, and I think the president knew it was going to be controversial when he did it. Mayors all over the country, including Mayor Turner, have said we're going to continue to do exactly what the government agreed to in the Paris Accords. Some governors, California, have said they're going to follow the accords. So pulling out just takes the United States out of the message. But if we're still going to follow it, what difference did it make?
Well, exactly. What difference did it make? And I think the fact that you're having mayors like Mayor Turner who are saying, we're going to work with the private industry, we're going to make sure that we have clean jobs, we're going to make sure we have clean energy, and we're going to look at fracking. That's wonderful. We want our mayors to do that. So exactly, you said it exactly right. What difference does it make?
I can't get Jackie to answer the question about us leading in the setting of goals and priorities and policies. What about that?
We've been a nation that has led the world in many ways. So put the climate change issue aside for a second. The entire world is on one side. The only two countries are Syria and Nicaragua on the other side, and we tend to align with Assad and
well, how do we lead? Both of you, I want you to answer this. How do we lead in setting goals and priorities and policies for these things in the future?
I answered you. Let me tell you again.
Hang on. If we pull out and we're not in.
Look, the way these accords are set up is that each individual country sets its goals and lives, and is accountable to itself and the rest of the people. So this is not necessarily a treaty that is kind of like a bilateral or trilateral treaty. This is a goal that you set for yourself.
And
so real quick,
let me answer you again, since you didn't understand me the first time. Individual cities, like Mayor Turner, what he said he's going to do, individual cities take the initiative to have their own energy and clean air policies. We did it in Sugar Land, and that's what Mayor Turner is saying he's going to do. He's going to work with the private sector to have clean air, clean jobs, clean energy, and he's going to look at fracking. That's the individual job of a mayor and his leaders in a city. So when you said, how are we going to take the lead? Each city is going to take the lead to have their own initiatives for clean air.
And we're out of time, but that's not the issue with respect to the United States government leading the world in setting these goals, priorities, and policies. We're going to leave it right there. We'll be back next week wrapping up the hottest stories of the week.
All right, we look forward to it. Thanks so much, guys. Right now.